Cali X Boxing in the building, joined by my guy, D-Style Boxing, HCPX. We are here March 20th, 2023. This weekend. Put your X's up in the air. Put your X in the chat. Put the X in the comment section, in the archives, all that good stuff. But we're here. And as far as hardcore boxing fans go, D-Style, it's a big fight weekend for us. You're on mute, by the way. For us, it's a big fight weekend. I love this fight. Implications at super middleweight. Implications for a possible CANELO fight, a possible fight with the cash cow of boxing. Bad blood. We got that. Bad blood's always great, right? Bad blood is always great. So a lot going on.
Bad blood.
What's your initial thought?
Say like I even like saying it like bad blood, you know, like that's what it is, man.
It is bad. So how you feeling like right now? Like 1 to 10, like on the 1 to 10 buzz meter for D-Style Boxing, where is it at right now for you?
I'm gonna be a very negative Nancy. Like a 5.
I think that's about where I'm at. Probably 6.
It might change though, right? The closer we get to the fight, but they haven't sold it to me. Ooh, they accused Kate of plan of being a bad guy and not paying his gym fees.
Mm-hmm.
And then he disproves it like in 0.2 seconds. Like he's like,
oh, I don't need it, by the way. Huh? It was so lame. And then he comes out with receipts.
I'm like, who kicks out a former world champion from the gym? Even if that were true, right? Because just people know, oh, that's where Kate of Plant trains. It helps your gym, right? But it's not even true that the guy paid his gym fees, his camp fees, and he donated money to the dude to pay his rent, the full amount. And then I guess Plant was like, look, man, I'll do half this time for you to help you out. And the guy kicks him out. And then the whole commotion is he was trying to get his fight banners and the guy wasn't letting him. Mm-hmm. I think that individual, that gym owner, I think he has. I'm not trying to be funny or nothing. I do think he has like some mental issues going on. Like he's got to.
And then they tried to sell it like it was fresh, right? Like it was a fresh story because they do that. They do that on social media all the time, not just boxing. Like this is a fresh story. This happened last June. It happened last June, and they recycled it. You can tell they're trying to get in his head this close to the fight. I don't know. It was disgusting. So, Chicano, are you saying that Plant is Canelo's leftovers? Are you saying that Benavidez is fighting Canelo's leftovers?
Oh, man. It's just like, bro, like this fight should have happened. And I know there's like a growing movement right now, Calix, of people that want to pretend everything's great and boxing's never been as good as it is right now for some reason, right? Mm-hmm. They're out there, believe it or not. They're like, a fight gets made, the first thing they do is they think about guys like us. Instead of being happy about the fight, well, what are you guys going to say now? All you do is complain about boxing, and the sport's not in a good place. What are you going to say now, huh? And I'm like, well, this fight should have happened when they were both champions. Remember when we used to complain that our problem with promoters was that they did too many in-house fights? Like, oh, yeah, they do all the in-house fights, but they don't co-promote with each other, which was still happening. It's not enough. Now they don't co-promote. They don't even do the in-house fights when they're there. This is crazy. And then they want to give us the fight, and they want us to, like, as if we owe them excitement with interest or something. Mm-hmm. Like, no, bro, like there's a such thing as a news cycle has passed in TV, right? Well, there's a such thing as, well, the best time to make that fight already passed. You could do it again, right? Like at least Crawford Spence, at least they're still champions right now, right? Mm-hmm. But if one of them gets beat, like Plant got beat against Canelo, it would lose luster. Like if Crawford loses to, let's say, Ortiz, right? Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden they want to give us the fight. It's still a good fight, but you already lost to Ortiz. It kind of lost. And then add to, like, let's say Spence, he lost his belt because he did cocaine. Then he lost his belt again on the scale. And some other dude is champion now. And then Spence and Crawford want to fight each other all of a sudden. That's what's going on right now. But now because Tyson called him the Mexican Monster, all of a sudden he has a new nickname. They rebranded the fight, and then we got to be excited about it. Like I'm excited. Don't get me wrong. I'm excited at a scale of 5, like a 5.5.
Yeah.
For all the positive dudes out there, they want to like let's be positive. The problem with boxing is guys like you that always rag on the sport. No, bro. Like don't give me something to rag about to keep it real. Because look, I have a problem with dudes that are too negative and dudes that are too positive. But at least the negative dudes make sense. The positive dudes, I don't know what the fuck's going on, bro. I mean, a chick could cheat on them for years, and they promise them she'll be faithful this time, and they'll believe it. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
She was faithful 98% of the time.
I cheat on you 3 times, but there's 365 days in a year. So that means that for hundreds of days, I was faithful. Like, stop.
No, what's interesting is I'm watching March Madness. And I'm watching. I'm binge watching.
I made money, by the way. You should have got in on that bet.
But from Thursday to Sunday, I'm binge watching, right? And I don't see any promos for Tank versus Ryan, which I was expecting to see. And I don't see any promos for Benavidez versus Plant. And this is a CBS tournament. CBS Showtime. It's perfect to promote this fight. And for people who didn't see, it broke records. The most watched first round in tournament history. Over 9 million people on average watched this tournament. It shattered NBA ratings. Shattered. This was
shattered ratings like a transgender dude, like breaking all the women records. It's crazy.
But it's a perfect segue. People are telling me, look, but people are telling me, oh, but you got to realize it's a new day. Social media, they can just self-promote themselves. Social media. You got to realize over 80% of the American population is not on. So they're not on Twitter. They're not on Instagram. They're not on. I don't know what the correct number is now, but at one point on Twitter, only 20% of the American population was on Twitter. And this was a couple of years ago. I'm not sure what the correct number is now, but most of the population is not on there. So you have a casual market that you're not reaching because you're relying on these dudes to sell a fight on social media. So when I see Plant versus Benavidez and I go on StubHub and I see tickets in every section and I see a couple sections curtained off, I'm wondering to myself, who the hell is promoting this fight? Why are they not promoting this fight more active? Why are they not trying to reach a more casual audience? Why is this happening? And are they just trying to throw it like this is a bad weekend to put it on because you're going against March Madness? Like there's going to be March Madness games on at the same time. So I'm wondering what's going on here. But I know they're not actively promoting this fight the way they should be.
I'll tell you, like, I think, I mean, they can't even, here's the funny part. So, see, Canelo's on a Super Bowl commercial. Okay, the most expensive commercials to get on, by the way. All right, with what beer was it? Miller Lite?
That was Miller.
Ultra. Actually, it was Michelob Ultra.
Yeah,
right.
Michelob.
So dude's on Michelob Ultra commercial, right? But we have Jose Benavidez Sr. out here, right? And it's like, well, the reason Canelo's fighting in Mexico because ain't nobody want that fight in Vegas. The new name out here is David Benavidez. Well, like y'all, like you're across the street from where freaking Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis are going to fight. They sold out their shit. They're still trying to get tickets out sold for this fight. They're still trying to sell tickets for the fight. So you think they got money to be spending like that, like to pay for March Madness when they're breaking records like a transgender athlete in female sports? They don't got time for that. You
can get in the lower bowl for a little over 300 right now.
Which is like.
And by the way, as the week goes on, they're going to drop even further. I don't know what the pay-per-view numbers are going to be for this fight. The only reason we bring up the numbers, because I already hear people saying, "Oh, you're talking about the numbers. You're not talking about." We're just bringing it up because we're pushing back on the narratives out there. There are narratives that these guys are, and I'm telling you, they have temporary fan bases for right now. Temporary fan bases. We know why that is. We've educated people on why that is.
Yeah, it turns out that if your fan base comprises of people that just want to see Canelo fail, right? It turns out that those people don't actually go to your fights and pay to watch you fight, right?
Mm-hmm.
It turns out that the people that pay to watch you fight and all that, like, are people that actually like you because of you.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it just seems that way for some reason, right?
And another thing needs to be said about this is they've done a terrible job of promoting these two because they're marketable.
Well,
both guys are marketable. They are. Like Benavidez is a market. Who the hell doesn't want to see a big dude, knocking people out, throwing 67 punches per round? People want to see
Mexican
it.
monster. You may
I've
have to
said it before, and this is a touchy subject. Like, it's a touchy part of it, but you want to reach out to and try to market to white America still, right? So you have two of the top 10 fighters, 17 weight classes, top 10 each weight class, 170 fighters. You only have two white American top 10 guys, D-Style. It's Plant, Joe Smith Jr. Outside of New Jersey, people don't know Joe Smith Jr. Outside of Tennessee, people don't know Caleb Plant. And these are marketable fighters with good stories, and they're not out there marketing and promoting these fighters. Nobody outside of Tennessee knows who Caleb Plant is. Nobody outside of Phoenix, Scottsdale, Arizona knows who David Benavidez is.
I don't think anybody outside of Nashville. Like, if you leave Nashville, I don't think they know who Caleb Plant is. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like as soon as you step out Nashville city limits, ain't nobody in Tennessee knows the fuck. Like, who? Caleb Plant. Like, I don't know that dude. Look, here's the truth. When Kelly Pavlik became middleweight champion of the world, right? Mm-hmm. Even before that, Youngstown, people from Ohio would travel, in this country, but it's a big country though. They would go all the way to Vegas to go support their dude.
Atlantic City.
When Ohio State was playing, by the way.
Yeah.
When Ohio, not Ohio State, when Ohio was playing football, like 5,000 people went from Ohio to Vegas to watch Kelly Pavlik fight. They went to Atlantic City to watch him fight. Top Rank did something. Maybe they did it by accident. But you know what they did? They filmed him in Youngstown with his people so they could relate to him. Okay? Caleb Plant, I mean, I don't know, this controversy thing, the gym thing was like, oh, this is going to get people going. Like, and then trying to paint, like, one guy's called the Mexican monster, right? But you want to make the other dude the bad guy. Like they're all over the place, bro. So who's the bad guy here? Who's the heel? Who's like, none of this makes sense. Mm-hmm. Too little, too late. And you know what else people see? Oh, that's a dude that lost to Canelo.
They're both coming off as the heel, right?
Yeah, and we're going to tell about this dude that gets no respect. The scale, okay? One loss to the scale, okay? Clear win by the scale, right? And then the other one lost to Canelo. So that's what we have here, guys. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but I look at this. Benavidez Plant should have been in Arizona and on regular Showtime, but Showtime PBC ain't got the ends or clout. Shout out to our guy, Nando Llamas, and appreciate the super chat. But and by the way, everybody hit that like. If you do one thing, hit that like.
For sure.
HCPX and put that X up in the chat. Put that X up in the chat and make sure to vote in the community poll who you got winning this fight. We'll talk about that in a minute. Betting odds, Compubox, all that good stuff.
I'm tired of Mexicans. It's just adding to the stereotype, looking horrible at the weigh-ins. I'm just saying. Okay. Andy Ruiz, and then Zurdo, and then before that, Benavidez. What the hell's going on over here, bro?
Zurdo, right? Gordo.
But these dudes get all that respect. Oh, yeah, Mexican style. Was that what that means? Eating too many tacos and shit before the fight?
Like, when you don't do things properly on the front end, it catches up to you on the back end, 100%. And you're always playing catch up, right? So when they don't properly promote Benavidez and Plant on the front end, when these guys aren't active enough, when they're not building organic fan bases, right? Because they're simply not active and they're not doing anything. They don't have enough fights. They're not, and they're marketable guys. But now we are where we are to where, and this is my frustration with the hardcore PBC fanboys, and they can't admit what's in front of us. They blew through $1 billion of investment money. They've gone through multiple networks at this point, and now we're looking at a situation at Showtime in which obviously they don't have the money to spend to promote these fights, right? Because if you have CBS putting on March Madness, where you have a ton of casual fans out there,
CBS, by the way, I just want to make sure
not promoting to them.
Really quick, Alex, who is CBS? Is the parent company of
Showtime. So I at least expected them to promote Tank versus Ryan on this for next month. They're not even promoting that, and they're not going to promote the fight that's happening this weekend on Showtime.
I remember, like,
it continues to add to this theory, right? That they're just running out of budget money. They're going to put everything on pay-per-view and just hope to break even or do a little better then. And they don't have to sell that many pay-per-view buys, D-Style, right?
All you got to do, bro, is like they can't afford to buy Tank and Ryan some front row tickets or something. Mm-hmm. Let's say they want to pay for commercials. Buy some front row tickets. Okay, tell them, hey, today you're a Duke fan. I don't give a fuck about what you say. You're gonna put on a Duke jersey. I think they're limited, aren't they? But you're gonna just go sit front row, okay, and cheer for them. Okay, that way, you know what they're gonna put the camera on. Oh, look, that's Tank Davis. He's here to support. Blah blah blah. He's a big basketball fan. Oh yeah, it's a big title fight coming again. Or not? They can't say that, but I guess they can. They say it anyway. But oh yeah, it's a big fight coming against Ryan Garcia. That's all you got to do. And to be honest, that gets more attention to the commercials anyway, right? Mm-hmm. Put a fucking mic on Ryan Garcia's hand, okay, and just put him in the booth for a minute or something. You know, just to say what's up, and he's here to support whoever, and he loves basketball, even if it's not true, right? Lennox Lewis had a fucking mic in his hand, right? And they had him watching American football, dude from England, okay?
Uh-huh.
And I still remember, like the broadcaster was like, "You enjoying the game there, Lennox?" "Oh yeah. It's great, But he was there, right? All I know, bro, is that they have not done a good job selling this fight. Locally, they haven't done it at a national scale. I could only imagine it's not that big internationally either. We know about it because we're in that boxing bubble, right? Like. But I haven't had anybody ask me like about this at work or a family member. I've had people. I'll keep it real. I've had people ask me about Ryan and Tank.
Me too.
So like that cannot be ignored. Now that's anecdotal, but when it's my anecdote and it's Calic's anecdote, and everybody check, keep it real. Has anybody asked you about Plant versus Benavidez versus Tank versus Ryan? And all those anecdotes, they all add up, and that's how polling is done. Believe it or not, right? After a while, okay, you start to get some type of consensus there. All I could say is this. They messed up, and maybe it's too late, but you didn't even put them on the same card at one point. Or like when one of them won, why wasn't the other guy in the ring, like talking shit or something? It's like the oldest thing you could do. It's like free advertisement to do it, right? When Benavidez won his last fight, why not put, like when he beat Lemieux, right? Why wasn't Plant there to tell him, come on, man, you're beating this washed up middleweight? Like, come on, when are you going to fight a real fighter 168? Huh? When are you going to fight a real man in this division? Like, where was that? Like, you know what I'm saying? And then, like, the only promotion we got in his senior's dad was making people feel uncomfortable because he brings up how he was a bad father to his deceased daughter. Like, that's not going to help sell the fight, bro. That's going to turn people off. That's all that does. And most people didn't even know only a hardcore nerd like me knew what that post on Instagram was about anyway. It was cryptic. Mm-hmm. Cryptic shit doesn't help sell. It's cryptic. You know what I mean? Like, seriously.
All we're saying is this fight should be bigger than it is. The poll currently has 67%. People think Benavidez is going to win the fight. And I think that pretty much aligns with everything I'm seeing in the betting odds. Shout out my guy Remy, Calix and D-Style, my bros, Mexican, Ecuadorian, Dominican, USA monster.
That's right. I mean, look.
He checks all the boxes. 23 of me. That 23 of me is off the
But you know what's stupid about that, bro? like they went back like generations to say he's got Dominican blood. Well, if we do that, we all got everything, bro. If we go back,
I got a lot.
Like people think, right? Like people think, like when they think great, like they think they have one like great grandfather. Like, no, bro, you got like 12. Okay, like you got, and they got how much you think they got? We all got everything, then, and we're gonna do that. Like it's just crazy, bro.
Appreciate that super chat.
This dude, I think they got Native American blood because a great grandfather was like a Apache or some shit, brother. Like we all got some. Like you know what I mean? If you keep going down the line, like, I'm just saying.
And 23andMe, they can't even assign Native American blood. Only Native Americans can do that, by the way. But Plant is too sharp for Benavidez, in my opinion. Short, crisp counters will tame Benavidez. They want boxing to be a niche sport only seen by a few. It seems that way. It seems that way. Let me hit a couple more before I pull up the graphics for us to dive into this preview. Plant Benavidez could end up like Margarito Cotto. Ooh. So
Andre Rodriguez, bro.
That huge. So there's a 22-foot ring for this fight. It's a big ring.
You know, I gotta say, Andre Rodriguez just said I have Roman blood. Like, who the fuck doesn't? Rome used to rule the whole Mediterranean, bro. Like, literally, we can all say we're Roman at one point. You know what I mean? Like, if you keep going back, right? Your great grandfather, grandmother were part of the Roman Empire. Like, you know, it is what it is. Like, they ruled the fucking world, bro. Okay? They were so big, they divided themselves in East and West. And until this day, we use the term the East and the West because of the Romans. All right? We all got Roman blood. All of us. I'm Roman, Calix. My fellow Roman brother. RCP. That's right. Romans causing panic.
Stefano says his Indian name is Red Crow. So there we go.
Stop.
Plant got a better trainer. Plant does have a new trainer. It's his second fight with that trainer, Breadman Boxing. So new stuff going on, but it's hard to tell until you're in there, right? Like it's easy to say, oh, we improved since the Canelo fight and that one fight with Darrell, but you know, we'll see with this one. We're going to see with this one. So I want to pull up some graphics real quick. First of all, and we hit on this one last week. This is the picture at 168. In the picture at 168, let me get this comment down real quick so we can pull up the full picture. Canelo at the top, obviously. Benavidez and Plant 2 and 3. That's what's impressive about this is there is meaning for this in the division. It's a meaningful fight in the division,
and I do agree with this. By the way,
fight in a meaningful division because Canelo is the champion, so it has Canelo implications in it. So when people ask what's big about this fight, that is big because it parlays one of these fighters into a conversation that's going to jump them another tax bracket, right?
Oh yeah. Look, I actually agree with that list. Like it looks pretty accurate. Now I'm gonna keep it honest. This is all eye test, but I would put Morella in front of John Ryder. That's just me.
Eye test, right?
Right. Not. I mean, I can't really say accomplishment, but
I would disagree with that, by the way. But I know what you mean as far as eye test.
Well, I mean, I'm just basing it off. If they made a fight tomorrow, Morella versus John Ryder, I would pick Morella to win.
As would I. But I view
I'm basing on that.
What have these guys achieved, and I just think there's a huge gap between what Ryder has achieved and what Morrell Jr. has achieved yet.
For sure, yeah.
But if you ask me who's winning that fight, I would pick Morrell Jr. too.
Like you can't make a rankings list. You can't make it based off potential. You got to make it off the actual things that have happened. You know what I mean? Like, so that I will agree with. You know, like I'm sure you're very familiar with like college rankings. They don't base it on what they think a team's potential is. They base it off their maybe at the very start of the season, but that becomes less and less of a thing. And boxing is a never-ending sport, right? Like it becomes less and less of a thing the more they play games. You know, like if Michigan gets upset, they lost. They can't just say, "Well, we're gonna keep them out there because they are better than that team." I mean, that's not how it works. You know, you get punished. You get dropped a little bit.
Obviously. Or a lot. Yep, you're right. These are the betting odds right here.
Whoo-wee.
So this is much different than what we saw opening up, in which it was less than 2-1. I think Benavidez opened up at like minus 180. So he's almost a 4-1 favorite now against Caleb Plant.
Even
Caleb
the KO,
Plant
bro.
continues to drop. He continues to drop in the betting odds. And to me, that continues to add value to Caleb Plant as a fighter, because I see this more as Benavidez 1.5 to 1 favorite, something like that. Almost 4-1. They're not showing Caleb Plant any respect right now.
Look, I'm going to tell you right now, if you're going to bet Caleb Plant, it's my opinion, just go with the decision. Plus 400. Now, if you're like, you know what? Plus 280, if you're confident he's going to win at the very, you have that comfort of knowing if he does knock him out at the very least. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I like the over-under in this fight, bro. Like, I like the under, me personally.
You like the under?
I like the under.
I like the over.
No, I wouldn't bet it because they're still not giving me a plus. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to bet it either way. If you don't give me a plus, I ain't going to do it. That's just me.
So you just don't see value here at all?
I see no value at all, bro. You get a minus 115, bro. Like there's better bets here. Like you might as well just bet Caleb Plant plus 280 at that point. My opinion.
Mm-hmm. I think it's going over. I got to be honest. I think there's going to.
It's their value to it.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think I'm staying away from this fight altogether. I don't like over under 9.5 rounds. So that means we're closing in on the 11th round. So halfway through the 10th round. That's deep into the fight. But I think Plant survives this fight. I think it's going decision. I don't think Benavidez is going to stop Plant. I don't think so. I don't think so.
Well, what about us? Because look, he was struggling in the Ustaki fight, right? He kind of lost the last 2 rounds, in my opinion. And against CANELO, he kind of faded, right?
Mm-hmm.
But CANELO did catch him with a big monster shot too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
I just think people are forgetting how dominant CANELO, who he was on that 168 run. Like people have that B-ball fight fresh in their minds, right? And then the Golovkin fight, in which wasn't the best fight, but that was more on Golovkin, in my opinion.
There's some other factors.
At 168 at that run, when he fought Caleb Plant, he was tough, man. Like he was mowing guys down in that run.
Well, there's some other factors here, right? Me personally, I feel like even if he doesn't stop Plant necessarily, he could slow him down enough, and that might be the difference as to why Benavidez wins. You know what I mean? But how underwhelming would it be if he beats Plant, but it's not as dominant fashion as CANELO did? Like in boxing tradition, you got to do it better than the guy before you in order to get people intrigued, right? Had it knocked out Castillo. That's why they were talking about the Mayweather fight after that.
It's one of the reasons we've been calling for this fight, right? Is it's a perfect measuring stick fight for Benavidez. We know the triangle theory doesn't work, but if you knock him out before the 11th round, what are people actually going to do? Oh, he beat him better than CANELO. Oh, now we're intrigued, right?
Now
it's going to be one of those things. And if Benavidez, to your point, ekes out a decision against Plant, some of Benavidez's aura sort of goes away, right? Because what's his aura right now? The Mexican monster, right? The Mexican monster. He's mowing guys down. He's destroying guys. He's knocking guys out. Nobody wants to see Benavidez go to decision, right? His aura is he knocks guys out.
Well, here's the other aura.
It does. If he does find a way to be Plant by decision, though, it does show that he's layered, right? It shows that he's versatile. For people like us, like boxing purists, we'll see that and say he's a versatile fighter. He can win decisions against good fighters, but will that add intrigue to Benavidez's name amongst people who
look? There's a lot of pressure on David in this fight. A lot is riding in this fight, right? It's personal, because they had a beef one time in the gym. If you ask me, they overblew the whole personal thing, but whatever, right? And then like, I mean, like you just alluded to. I mean, he's got to look a certain way to live up to that nickname and that hype he's been getting. And just for those that are tuning in, they are expecting a Mexican monster. You know, they're expecting a dude that's gonna be that dude. Like if he destroys Plant, now we're talking. Now we are intrigued for a Canelo fight, right? That'll justify it all. But if he loses this fight, he's never gonna recover, bro.
To me, this is the big wild card right here. This is a big step up for Benavidez. It's not a step up for Plant.
Still, like iron sharpens iron, steel sharpens steel. This dude is steel that's been fighting iron. So the steel can't be sharpened with the iron. Okay, I'm sorry, Lemieux doesn't do it for me, right? I mean, I give him credit for the win or whatever, but it's not. It wasn't a step up. That's just the truth. All right. And here's the other thing. So things to think about. Oh, but the volume. What nullifies volume in boxing? To take guys that are known for their volume, right? Like a Manny Pacquiao. Timing, which is used by counterpunchers, right? Caleb Plant, if you look at the fight against Canelo, when he was against the ropes, he was trying to set up Canelo for some counters. Okay, there's some really good videos out here on YouTube that break this down, right? It was the same kind of setup that Floyd Mayweather was using on Canelo. Now, it worked years ago when Canelo was young and Mayweather was popping him with some counters off the ropes. Caleb was trying the same thing, but this time Canelo was utilizing head control and he was anticipating the counter based off a previous experience. So he knew what Plant was trying to do, right? And so he was able to evade that. Now, the high level of boxing IQ that was being utilized in that fight by Canelo, right? I don't see that in David. David, I see a very offensive fighter, meaning when he misses a punch, he's going to get popped in the face by Caleb Plant, right? Caleb Plant is a situational fighter, not a pattern fighter, and he will make David pay when David misses. So at least for the first half of this fight, he's going to be getting countered. And if he's countering him successfully, right, is that going to nullify, right, or slow down David's output, which will help Plant in the second half because he's not going to burn out too much energy. Plant's friend in this fight, Calix, is accuracy. He needs to be accurate. He needs to be successful in his counters because that's going to slow down David. That's going to keep David from throwing as many punches. Therefore, he's not going to have to exert as much energy in the process, right? Another thing is the jab. Like Caleb Plant is a very underrated jab, okay?
Yes.
He needs to keep the jab popping. If you keep getting hit with a jab, and I learned at a very young age listening to George Foreman in a De La Hoya versus Vargas fight, right? He kept pointing out, right now, De La Hoya, because one of the other commentators was saying, when he's landing the jab, why doesn't he follow up? And Foreman was saying he's wearing him down. He's popping his head back. That's putting strain on the back of the neck, okay? And that fatigues you, right? So that's something that Caleb Plant needs to do. He needs to utilize his jab and counter, okay, whenever David misses. He does that, he may very well win this fight.
Plant's got an elite left hand. He does. It's an elite left hand. He doesn't have much of a right hand, but he's got an elite left hand. He's got that jab. He's got a left hook. He showed that against Durrell. He can go to the body. He showed that against Durrell. And we'll find out. That's another wild card here is Breadman Boxing, his new trainer, second fight. He said he saw some stuff that he can work with Plant, use lateral movement more, 22-foot ring in this fight.
That's another big factor.
Those are the questions, right? Is Canelo versus Plant, it was Canelo being economical first half of the fight, then then ramping it up. He ratcheted it up, much like we talk about with Tank, right? They ratchet it up as the fight goes on, as the later rounds go on. And that's one of the big question marks with Caleb Plant is the gas tank starts to empty late in the fight. So that's why the Benavidez late stoppage, it seems to be the move for a lot of people, right?
Here's some other things, Calix, that people need to consider here, okay? So when a fighter has animosity towards another fighter, they fight with emotion, Okay. There's a reason why Tater even said it after the fight. He said, I wanted to get Ramirez all riled up because I knew he wasn't going to fight intelligently. He was going to come out with emotion. And then, you know what I mean? And Ramirez even said that he was saying things like, I'm going to break my hands punching this guy. I can't wait till I hit. Like, so if Plant goes out there and not Plant, I'm sorry, Benavidez goes out there just trying to hurt him, like from the beginning, he may very well find himself getting countered, getting hurt sooner than he thinks, right? Because my question is, I don't care what he says in public. Does he really respect Plant's power and abilities? Is his mind clouded with that hatred, right? That bad blood they got. Is he kind of not giving Plant enough credit? Is he? And another thing, in the words of Larry Merchant, right? You can't, like, I don't like it when the game plan is we're going to wait for the guy to get tired. Like, what if he doesn't get tired, right? It just sounds to me like they're very confident on, pressing Plant, getting them tired and taking them out late. And it sounds like a lot of people picking Benavidez, including myself, actually, so I'm calling myself out a little bit, are banking on Plant getting tired in this fight in the second half and getting stopped late, right? Is there too much in that? Like, are we thinking about that too much? Are we putting too much stock in that? You know what I mean?
It's hard. It's difficult to know what to put stock in and what not to put stock in because we don't have much to go off of at the elite level with these two fighters. Despite what their fan bases want to say, we don't have much of Benavidez at the top level. We just don't. He hasn't faced that level of competition. And Plant, similar. I mean, he's got guys like Truex. Other than Canelo, he's got like guys like Truex, that level. He doesn't have guys at the top level consistently throughout his career, so we don't know. There's a lot of question marks. Another question mark is how long can Benavidez? He's a big dude. He walks around over 200 pounds. He
looks in great shape.
How long? He does look in great shape, but how long can he go to the well? How many times can he go to the well at 168?
Is he overtraining?
Is he overtraining? There's just a lot to go off of.
Now, a lot of people really quick. Like I see someone, I think Flossy Sports saying, Benavidez is more accurate than Plant. Again, boxing doesn't have leagues. Like there's no MLB in boxing. Like there's no like NBA or something like that. Whoever has a boxing license is a professional, right? But here's a reality, okay? It's hard data to analyze given their level of opposition. It's just hard data to analyze. Right, and they also throw different types of punches. Like Benavidez throws a lot of arm punches. He has a hook on a guy, then he triples it really quick, so that can contribute. It's kind of like he's kind of like padding the Compubox a little bit. You know what I mean?
And I was going to say that as a disclaimer before bringing up Compubox, because we had Compubox up. You know, I'm a Compubox guy. I love analyzing the Compubox data, even though it's flawed. You know, Compubox can be flawed. But the big flaw in Compubox is you got to look deeper into the stats. Right. And it's difficult to compare and contrast Compubox stats when, say, a guy hasn't faced the top level of opposition, right? You look at a guy like Bivol, right? Bivol's 2022 Fighter of the Year. He faces Canelo, he faces Zurdo, and he's still putting up the same Compubox stats that he had going into the fight.
Yeah.
Right? He's still the best. Compubox says he's the best defensive fighter in the sport. Shakur Stevens is the same thing. Shakur Stevens is fighting guys like Oscar Valdez and likes the top guys at 130. Now he's going to be fighting guys at 135, and his Compubox stay the same. His opponents are landing 12.7% of shots against him. Bivol, 12.2%. They're head and shoulders above everybody else. Lomachenko is facing good competition. His stats are off the charts. They're the most versatile fighters in the sport. So they're putting up good Compubox stats, great Compubox stats against top-level competition. It's difficult to read these and say, Is it going to be the same in this fight? Will Benavidez throw 66.7 punches in a 20 per round in a 22-foot ring against a guy with lateral movement? Will he be able to do it? Will he be able to land at a 38.4% percentage against Caleb Plant? Will he be able to do it? Will he be able to land to the body 26 body shots, 6 per round? Will he be able to do it? And we look at the jabs here. We talked about Caleb Plant.
I also want to know what style has he faced that's similar to Plant's.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we talked about Caleb Plant's jab. Benavidez is 25.9. He's throwing to 22.1. He's landing 6.8 compared to Plant's 5.4. So, I mean, it's comparable. It really is. Benavidez's jab is comparable to Caleb Plant as far as the stats go. Power shots. What is that? 40.8. He's throwing per round. He's landing 19 power shots per round. He's landing at 46.
Yeah, there's another side to the story, though, Calix, right? When I watch the fights, it just appears to me that Benavidez gets hit with more eye-catching shots than Plant. Mm-hmm. He does. Like Lemieux, he just couldn't hurt him, but he was landing flush on Benavidez. He was. Durrell was landing on Benavidez. Like, now I'm not saying Plant is perfect, guys. I'm not even picking Plant to win, right?
Well, that's natural, though, as you throw more punches, right? You're going to leave yourself.
Yeah, of course, but that's my point, though, right? The question is, can the counter punch? It's about styles here, right? We could look at the numbers all day, but what type of punches are they throwing, right? Mm-hmm. Like what's the reward ratio when you land versus when you don't, right? If you're throwing counter punches, right, and you land at 30%, do you value that more? Does that give you more at the end of the fight than, I'm just going to be honest, some pity pat shots that Benavidez throws sometimes? Not all of them, but a lot of them are. All right. They may land at a higher percentage, but I feel like Plant is like a shooter in the NBA, right? And David Benavidez is just like doing layups and dunks. That's how I feel. Mm-hmm. So of course the percentage is going to be better. Like, that's just the way it is. But it doesn't mean that the result is different in the end. Well, we're going to see, but and I understand, JC, that everyone gets hit. But I'm comparing both guys. Just based off what I've seen, Plant does not get hit with as many. They both get hit, but I feel like Benavidez, when they're fighting the same level of opposition, he gets hit flush. That's a key word, with eye-catching shots more so than Plant. That's not based off stats. It's just based off what I've seen with my eyes, right? Mm-hmm.
No, I agree. And I look at these stats. They both land over the division, super middleweight division, as far as the higher percentage in all total punches, jabs, and power shots.
Damn.
Right? Both of them. And when we talk about Benavidez, it's much higher. 46 he's landing almost half of his power shots, D-style.
I mean, that's look, that's impressive when you look at the stats. I'm not denying that, right? But now you make the point about Shakur. Is he going to continue those numbers or be close to those numbers even?
That's the
now question. That he's stepping up against Plant. That's what this fight is, guys.
That's the question.
There isn't one opponent on David Benavidez's resume, not one, that I would pick against Plant. Not one. He just knocked out his best win to prove my point. Durrell was his best win, knocked him out. So we know he's the best guy he's fought. I don't know that he's the best Plant's fought. Right? That would be CANELO. So one guy's fought a higher opposition than the other dude. The step up here is Benavidez. I'm picking him to win. Like you know what I mean? But I think it's going to be based off of tiring him out, and I think Tank's gonna. I keep calling him Tank. Plant. I think he's gonna run the gas, Calix.
Yeah. So I'm reading this below. Plant landed 38.3% of his power punches 9.2 per round. But listen to this. Plant's opponents landed just 7.3 punches per round. Canelo landed 11.3. So that's what we talk about, right? When the level of competition changes, but Canelo's Canelo. So his opponents are only landing 7.3 punches per round against him. So his defense is good. I mean, we could talk about his offense being more economical, right? He's throwing 20 punches less per round than Benavidez. But it goes back to what we're saying. Benavidez is going to throw more punches, so naturally he's going to get hit more. But on the inverse, Plant is throwing less, he's going to get hit less, right?
Right.
So it comes down to me, how are the judges going to score this fight? Because I just keep thinking this. I think it's going the distance. I don't think Benavidez is stopping Plant. I definitely don't think Plant's stopping Benavidez. But I don't think Benavidez is going to stop Plant. I don't think he will. I think it's going the distance. And to me, it comes down to which one are the judges going to favor. And I think the judges generally favor
aggression.
The aggressor, the guy throwing more punches. And I think that's going to be Benavidez. I think it'll be like a 116, 112 type of fight. Benavidez is going to be the guy throwing more punches. There might be knockdowns in this fight too. So it could be like one of those 116, 111, 116, 110 type thing. But Plant's going to make a fight.
Could either guy afford a boring decision here? Like maybe Plant, but
Plant can.
If Benavidez wins a boring decision, like with no excitement, I mean, I just think there's a lot of pressure on him. I think I'm picking him to win, late stoppage, but I'm not counting out Plant. You know what I mean? Like I'm just going to.
One other thing to read down here is Plant opponents landed just 5.5 power punches per round against them. So they're landing roughly what, 6? We rounded up.
So do we have stats on Benavidez?
Something's going to give in this fight. Something's going to give.
Yeah, I do. I think David. I don't think David's going to like slow down. I think he's going to keep. I think he knows, right, that his strength is stamina. At least that's the perception. That's what they believe. So they're going to start this fight fast, right? The question, I know how David Benavidez is going to fight. In other words, I'm not sure what the game plan for Plant's going to be. Is he going to try to match him? Right? Is he going to try to? Is he going to like give away the first couple rounds to kind of let Benavidez burn out a little bit? You know, or like, is he going to invest mostly on the body, which I think would benefit him a little bit here? But at the same time, like give up some rounds to just focus on the body early. Or is he going to try to win the rounds early, put some in the bank? I don't know. I just don't what Caleb Plant's strategy is going to be. I want to ask you, what do you think is a winning strategy here for Plant?
The winning strategy is to use that 22-foot ring, try to use as much lateral movement as possible, but not too much. Here's the thing. You want to be cagey. Nando brought up Cotto versus Margarito early in the show, right? What was the key mistake Cotto made in that first fight? He used his legs too much. Way too much. Emmanuel Stewart saying it during the fight.
There was actually two things, Alex. Two things.
He's expending a lot of energy. And what was the number one?
Well, it was two things, though. It was that he was moving a lot, right? Which would have been okay if he was using his front foot to land the punches, right? To leverage the front foot. Cotto, we watched that fight, was landing off the back foot. He would land 4 or 5. Margarito would land 1 or 2, but on the front foot, right? And then, yes, Cotto would move out of the way, and the appearance was, man, he's landing a lot of Margarito right now. The combinations are beautiful, but what would Margarito do? He would sneak in the nice body shot every single time, right? He would land a hook upstairs. He would land an uppercut here and there. And then as the fight progressed, Margarito's started landing at a higher percentage, and that's what they look at, right? If David Benavidez starts landing at a higher percentage as the rounds progress, Plant is in trouble, guys. Okay, but if he stays stagnant, or the output or the landed punches go down, that's going to favor Plant. Like that's going to be the thing to look for in the first few rounds of this fight, quite frankly. So,
So the key adjustment Cotto made in that second fight was staying on the front foot. I hate to say it, hugging a lot, tactical clinching a lot, breaking up the fight, staying on your front
slowing
foot
down the pace
instead of going into the ropes. And if I'm his trainer, I'm showing him that fight, and I'm saying you don't want to back up too much. You want to use some lateral movement, use that ring, but break up this fight, clinch a lot, fight, keep one hand free on the clinch.
Well, because if you add it up, bro, like in other words, let's say I'm boxing Calix, then I hold him, boom, right? 1, 2, 3. Bring it. That was 4 seconds, right? And then we have to reset. So it's like 6 seconds, right? If you do that just 3 times around, that's it, right? That's 20 seconds that you used up in the round. If you add up 20 seconds in 12 rounds, that's a lot of time, bro, that you've shaved off, and that's just 3 times holding. Imagine if you're holding. Well, why do you guys think guys hold like 10 times this shit? And we fucking hate it, but why do you think they do it?
Yeah.
Why do you think Shakur's holding like fucking 10 times around? There's a reason for it. Because at least 1/3 he's in no danger for 1/3 of the fight. When you add it all up, right? It slows down the pace, and then by the time a guy finally gets on the ropes again, it is frustrating, right? But there's a double-edged sword to everything, Calix, because holding could backfire, right? If you start clinching a guy and he's stronger than you, that could strain your arms, right? So if he's outweighing Plant, how much can Plant really hold him?
Yeah. He's
going to have to be very, I know people are saying, oh, you should just hold him. Well, I mean, he's going to have to be strategic with the holding. Like, hold him and then let him go right away or something. He's going to have to be very strategic.
Pick your spots to do everything. Be smart about it. You have to. And there's one other thing I want to bring up with Compubox before I take this down that I think is important is 16.7 plus minus rating. Ranks number 4 in boxing for Benavidez. And the reason I bring that up is, and what that means, plus minus for people who don't know, is he's landing almost 17 punches more than his opponents per round. Okay. And we talked about Compubox being deceptive. It's deceptive because we're comparing fighters who have much different levels of competition. So number 1 in the sport is Lomachenko with the plus minus. His is like 18 point something. He's doing that against overall consistent good competition. Benavidez's can be deceptive. We don't know. If these numbers, he could be one of those guys. It doesn't matter who he fights. The numbers are going to stay the same. We saw that with Bivol, right? That was our question in 2021. We were talking about Bivol. Is like, it just looks like this guy's in third gear constantly. Like, what would happen if he stepped up? And he steps up and his numbers stay the same.
Yeah,
Benavidez could be one of those guys. His numbers could stay the same. So all I'm saying is, when I look at these numbers, betting odds, I tend to think Plant is undervalued at plus 280. I tend to lean the over because I think it's
instead of like, in other words,
I'll say this: I'm telling people I'm staying away. I'm not betting on anything for this.
Let me tell you why the over is a horrible. Leave it up. Let me tell you why the over is terrible, even if you think it's going to go decision, okay? If let's say you're going to put $100 on the over, it's hypothetically, okay? Whatever amount you're going to put on the over, right? You're getting minus 115.
Yeah.
If you believe it's going to go over, more than likely you believe it's going to go decision.
Correct.
Look at the odds. Instead of 100 on the over, split it. 50 for Plant, 50 for Benavidez, decision for each. And then look at the pluses.
Yep.
So that's what I would do. You get Plant by decision plus 400, Benavidez by decision plus 420. Me personally, that's what I would do. Okay. And I would take it a step further. I would maybe put a little bit on just if you do the math right, you're gonna have to do it on your own. Put something on Benavidez by knockout, right? and then you divide them both by decision. But I would just do this decision for both. It's worth the risk, right? Yes, there's that chance. There's that chance that let's say Benavidez or Plant land a knockout like at the 12th round with 4 seconds left. Fucking D-style, you told me to. Okay, of course, there's that chance. There's that window, Calix, from 9.5 rounds to 12 that there's a knockout. But if it's already reached that point, we already know in championship boxing it's unlikely for there to be a knockout in that window.
Mm-hmm.
By the numbers.
Yeah.
My advice, and I might just do this myself, is put decision on both Plant and Benavidez. And you got some really good odds either way. I would split my bet in two instead of doing the over. That's me.
I'm just staying away altogether because I think there's better stuff more valuable fights to fight on, to bet on. Unless you're one of those people who needs to bet every weekend because you're a degenerate. I just prefer staying away if I'm not sure.
Hey, do you think that the round knockout is going to be Benavidez' head, so he might come out more cautious than we think?
No. I think Benavidez's temperament is all kill all the time.
Okay.
I think he just sees red. I think his style is his style. And that's why I want to see him in there with a fighter who's we're going to see if he has any versatility to his game. We're going to see if he has to, if he's getting picked apart, if he's getting timed, can he win more economical rounds? Can he win a decision? That's the fight I want to see Benavidez in.
Yeah.
I don't mind if Benavidez doesn't come in and blow Plant away and wins a decision. To me, that shows his versatility and maturity, experience that he can beat a top 3 guy in the division by decision, although he's not a decision fighter.
I want to bring up Chelsea Pearls just really quick. He said, what do you guys think about the undercard? Here's what I'll say about this one fight. Rayo Valenzuela, okay, Rayo against Colbert. This is the type of fight you put on undercards, right? They're both coming off devastating losses, right? It's a crossroads fight, okay? So it's kind of like sink or swim, the type of high stakes in a way, right? I'm not sure who I want to pick yet in that fight, but it's a good fight because ain't nobody want to lose 2 in a row. And I'll tell you right now, we've gotten so used to fighters like being coddled, and when they lose, we don't see them again for 2-3 years because they put them in there with dudes nobody wants to see, and then we are at a point right now where like I think even PBC is like sink or swim, all right, and I love it. So it's like
Colbert's going to hell. I think Colbert's going to hell.
Look, bro, there isn't enough room for all the. I wish all fighters could get paid. I wish they could all enjoy boxing and stay in the sport, but this is a hierarchy sport, bro. Like it's not for everybody. Like if you don't make it, you don't make it, bro. All right, I know that sounds brutal or whatever, but yes, not everybody got really good players get cut from NFL teams. It is what it is, and they got to go play in the CFL, and they don't live their dreams like The Rock and shit. He went off to be a wrestler instead. Roman Reigns, he went off to be a wrestler instead. Good in college, they just weren't selected to play in the NFL, right? I think Roman played for a year or whatever, but my point is, Goldberg was an NFL player, but eventually got cut by the Falcons or whatever, and then he moved on, right? That's life. I'm sure it's the same in the NBA. There's only so many dudes that are allowed in the team. It's a very small percentage that make it. It should be the same in boxing, Calix. You lose, guess what? We're going to give you a shot, but it's sink or swim. Colbert, you just got knocked the fuck out. Rayo, you just got knocked the fuck out. There ain't enough room for the both of you. I'm going to snap this post-stick in half. I'm going to throw it in the room. I'm going to lock the door. Whoever comes out alive, that's the dude that we're going to put you in an eliminator or something after that. That's the way to do it. It sounds brutal, but that's the way it's always been done, Calix. Mm-hmm. I interviewed Christy Martin, and I was asking her because she's doing promoting now at a smaller scale, but she was telling me about this guy. He's oh yeah, he's 8-0. But you know what? I need to find out if he's for real or not. I don't want to waste my time. I'm going to put him in there with a veteran. And hey, I'm like the mama bird. I'm going to push him off, and if he flies, he flies. If he doesn't, well, he doesn't. Time to go find a 9 to 5. Like, it is what it is. Like, just because you're a pro boxer doesn't mean you like we got to give you unlimited chances, and we as the audience, right, need to see you be giving these gimmies for 2-3 years before they put you back in there with a threat. Nah, bro, sink or swim. That's it. Sink or swim. And that's why that fight, I love that fight. It's a crossroad fight, and that's the type of fight you're supposed to put on pay-per-view undercards. I like it.
So right now we got 53 votes, 57% Benavidez, 43% Plant. It's tightening. And
we got Rayo? You think he's gonna knock out Colbert?
Yeah, I think Colbert's losing. I don't know if he's gonna knock him out. Colbert has survival skills, but just not.
You might be right, because
I think we people use that exposed term too much, but they were trying to make Colbert out to be something that he's just not, like this super duper slick guy. And I think Malignaggi is a guy who ended up having several losses, right? Because at some point people see that you don't have any power, none, no power, none. And it's amazing what he accomplished with his career despite not having any power. The up jab, footwork. But when you have a guy in there who's going to come after you and everybody's seen what's happened with you before, I think Colbert's going to lose the fight.
Yeah, plus, it's better for these fighters to find out early if this is their sport or not, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like keeping them around and they're in their late 20s, early 30s, and this boxing thing ain't working out. Like, what? They might as well find out now. Shit, I'm just keeping it real.
Yep.
And this is why I don't blame fighters that go get a degree first and then they're like, okay, I'm ready now. I don't blame fighters that do that. But you have to, like, it is what it is. Like, you have to. One of my favorite questions to ask prospects always is, do you have a backup plan? It's the first thing I ask them. Mm-hmm. Okay. If they say yes, then I tell them, do you believe that the fighters that don't have a backup plan have an advantage over you? And the answers are always interesting, and they start thinking, right? And then there's the ones that just flat out tell me, I don't got a bet. This is all I got, so I can't fail. Mm-hmm. And you know who's one of those guys, Calix? Caleb Plant. And he said it. He said it in a press conference once. He said he found out the dude had a college degree, and he's like, hey, this dude can't beat me. This dude, he's got a backup plan. Ain't no dude with a backup plan beating me. That doesn't really mean anything. I mean, at the end of the day, the better fighter's going to win. But mentally, maybe it does.
It's a mindset.
You know what I mean? So Rayo, I think Rayo got caught cold, and he was stopped, where Cobra was beat down for an entire fight, right? Those are two different types of losses, right? Not all losses are created equal. So not all knockout losses are, right? So I do favor Rayo in that fight.
Yeah, me too.
Before
we get into Zurdo's weight issues, right now, we're still 5 days away, so plenty of time to change opinions right now, but 5 days away. You're thinking Benavidez knockout? Is that what you're thinking?
My number one choice, if people said, if you had a crystal ball, if you had to give me one prediction style, is because I like to analyze things and give people different ways to look at things. Mm-hmm. But my official prediction is David Benavidez by like 8th or 7th round stoppage.
What would be the most shocking result to you?
Plant knocking out Benavidez and it's below like under 4 rounds or something like that.
That would be the most shocking to me.
That would be like, bro, I would be for a CANELO rematch. I'm sorry if he did that.
Yeah, if he knocks out Benavidez, give me the CANELO.
I would be like, yo, Brad, man, damn, bro.
I know.
Come train me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not a boxer, but shit.
You're sitting on the right punches now. You pull off something like that. You got Darrell and then Benavidez knockouts back to back. 2 top 10 knockouts in the division, and you knocked out a guy who everybody thought was going to knock you out, that you were 4-1 underdog against. Sign me up for a rematch at that point. That's his way to get it. He wants it. That's his way to get it. You get another $10 million payday that way.
I think the ref is going to jump in, and I think it's going to be controversial. I think Plant's going to like argue with the ref. You know what I mean?
Early stoppage.
You know, I don't know if it would be early. I'm just saying, like, Plant's not going to agree with the stoppage.
Or possibly
whether we agree it was early or not is a different story, right? But hey, man, if Plant lands that same left hook that landed on Durrell, he could knock anybody out. Like that was a picture perfect counter. And now it's hard to land that, right? But if he does it again, man, I'm just saying he doesn't even have to knock him out, Kyle. Just hurt him, buzz him. You know what I mean?
That would be shocking to me. If he pulled, it would be.
The other thing, David is a little too upright for me. I'm just putting that out there.
Mm-hmm.
A little way too upright.
He leaves his chin out there, and as some people in our highly intelligent chat suggest, his chin has never been tested. Huge step up. His chin has never been tested.
What about Lemieux hitting him flush, though? Lemieux could punch, right? At middleweight, but...
No.
Lemieux could punch, bro. What do you mean?
At middleweight. And he didn't... He did catch Benavidez with some flush shots. I'll give him that. I just think it's a different type of power.
Okay.
I don't know. But Zurdo as Gordo, what did you make of?
Jesus fucking Christ.
You know, the funniest thing about the weekend was somebody hit me up and said, hey, this guy.
Yo, man, this guy wants to know why we're not interviewing him, Calix. Why nobody's giving him respect.
Somebody hit me up and texted me and said, hey, Zurdo's having serious weight issues. And I see Twitter break, and it's 12 pounds. And
can I tell you a funny story?
Arguing right now, they're saying, oh, it's actually 7.6 pounds. Like, dude. So Gabe Rosado
I think that was a second attempt, wasn't it?
Right. Like, Gabe Rosado confirmed that he weighed in 187 and they gave him 2 hours and he got down to whatever it was. But my thing is, if we're arguing about 12 or 7.6, it's
at that point, it doesn't matter. Look, first of all, Calix, I don't even believe in the second way. Like, I'm gonna tell everybody right now, this whole like, oh, we're gonna give you another hour or two is bullshit to me. You already had a whole training camp, bro. You know what I mean? What do you mean? Oh, we're gonna give you an extension, like 2 more hours. Like, what?
I don't mind that period because some guys have a faulty scale in their hotel room.
It could be, but if it's like, in other words, how do you resolve the issue with a faulty scale? Have more than one scale. I mean, there's other ways to handle it, but look, they're not going to get rid of it. I get it. It's kind of like a last-ditch effort to save a fight. They put a lot of money in these fights. I get it. Right? No one's going to listen to me, but I just think it's bullshit that you've already had months to like make the weight, but we're going to give you 2 more hours. Like this shit's stupid. Okay. Oh, we got a sauna right there for you. Go to the sauna, sir. That's not even healthy, bro. Like, there's nothing healthy about that. That's crazy, right? But funny ass story. So those that know, right, I work graveyard. So I get home around 10 a.m., 11 a.m. So if I work overtime, I get home at 1 or 2, right? And I go to sleep. So anyway, I got home, went to sleep. So I woke up like at 7 p.m. So this shit had already happened. I didn't know this fight was canceled, bro. Right? And I'm like this. I'm like, oh, fuck. Zurdo, he missed weight by one. Man, what is that, 1.2 pounds? Shit, he must have been struggling to make weight. You know, and then, like, my eyes adjusted. 12 pounds. 12 pounds, bro? I need to know where the taco spot is, bro. I need to try that shit. Or whatever it is. Crab legs, whatever spot he was hitting up that was so irresistible he couldn't help himself. You guys don't understand. This shit was the bomb. You know what I mean? I couldn't help myself. Because that's what it was if he was over that much. This dude couldn't help himself. Whatever shrimp he was eating, whatever elote he was eating, whatever taco spot, whatever crab leg spot, whatever it was, I need to know what it is, because that shit must be fucking good, bro. Like, I need to have it. I need to know. Right? Benavidez, like, hire Zurdo to be a spokesman for you and be like, this place is so good. I missed weight by 12 pounds. Like, you know, people will buy it, bro. This shit's crazy. Yo, that's true. That you might as well be pregnant. You know how heavy a 12-pound baby is? Like, you might as, bro. And then he tried to miss. Like, so you, in an hour, you burned? So you burned 5 pounds in an hour, but you could have burned 12 in months? What the fuck is going on right here? And then, do you know how sus it would have been if you would have made weight? I have a theory, Calix. We saw it with Liam Smith and Navarrete, right? Liam Smith stepped on the scale. He was like, whoa. What do you mean 120? 126? I don't know 126. And then, like, what's his name? Navarrete steps on the scale. He's like 130 on the dot. Right? And he's like, whoa, what's going on? Wait. He leaves. I think they were going to try some recalibration, but people are keeping an eye on it. And I wouldn't be shocked. And now this is conjecture. I don't have any proof of this, but I wouldn't be shocked if they've done that before. Like if they've recalibrated this dude. Because this dude, oh man, you guys, he's big. He's 218 on Fight Night. Like, what?
Oh, it's happened.
That's not normal. Like, it's possible that they've recalibrated his weight before, and he thought that because this is way too much. 12 pounds is ridiculous, bro. That is a ridiculous amount of weight, okay, to miss without the expectations that you maybe before had the weight recalibrated, which you can do, right? Like, I'm just saying.
I got a different theory. My theory is he just didn't want to fight this fight from the beginning. And I think he just didn't do anything. And maybe he's misjudging. Dude, we're trying to make sense of this as if it makes sense, but obviously he didn't train for this fight. And obviously it's a fight that he didn't feel like he had to train for. But I don't understand how you get, like, did he warn somebody like on Monday of fight week, Tuesday of fight week, Wednesday of fight that, hey guys, I'm weighing like 200 pounds right now for 175.
You see, he even looked.
Did he give anybody a heads up?
Like, he looked like a bum. He was dressed like a bum. Like literally, he was just like, I don't give a fuck. Does he or does he not have a I don't give a fuck vibe right now? Look at that.
There's no doubt.
They don't give a fuck, bro.
And look, Zurdo was growing on me as a fan. Like, I was, a couple of years ago, I was like, Zurdo, he's boring me. Then all of a sudden, he's knocking guys out. Then all of a sudden, he fights Dimitri Bivol, which to me, win or lose, you fight Dimitri Bivol, I got to give you respect. You're fighting top-level competition. That's the fight you want. He's growing on me, right? And then even I don't mind him throwing beer cans at tourists. I don't mind that either from a balcony. Like, go ahead and do it, whatever.
Yeah, he's like a cry for help, isn't he? Like, when you think about it. His nickname is fucking Socorro, which means help.
I didn't even mind him doing that. Like, I was like, oh, he's throwing beer can at tourists.
Socorro Ramirez. Help. Look, this is a missed weight by 12-pound starter pack. First, you need a promoter that's too worried about what Canelo's doing, and he's fighting British dudes. He could have stopped tweeting and talking, doing interviews about Canelo and what Canelo's doing, right? Instead of worry about, you used to be a fighter, bro. Aren't you looking at Zurdo? Like, the dude's a cry for help, Oscar. He's getting in fights with tourists. He's going crazy, right? And then the second thing you do is sell wolf tickets, right? Which is right there. That's what this fight was. Ain't nobody want to see this fight, right? You need some Coronas, which I'm pretty sure he was drinking a lot of. You know what I mean? And then, of course, you need the Mexican food from the Mexican ladies with the jiggly arms, because that's the irresistible Mexican food. I'm saying.
He looks like a homeless poodle.
But when are people going to give the scale its respect? What a dominant victory by the scale, bro.
That was the most dominant victory I've seen from a scale ever.
That made Mayweather Gotti look like a two-sided fight. That was crazy. I mean, he stood no shot, bro, and then he went back for more and still got beat.
That was a brutal beatdown.
12 pounds. You could make a song about it, like on a 12th day away, is my true love gave to me a big plate of tacos. You know what I mean? One burrito on the 11th day away, is my true love gave to me 11 enchiladas.
He's out there missing weight by 12 pounds. And Oscar's out here on the same day, the day before, criticizing Canelo for things that he's doing. And I'm like, dude, watch your what is your fighter doing? But I just can't get over this. Like, I was thinking about this that night. I was just thinking about this. Like, how does a guy miss weight by 12 pounds and like nobody was alerted of anything? Nobody saw it coming. It's like, dude, did he not phone somebody?
The
like,
fighter
the before the weigh-in and say, "Hey, just a heads up, I'm gonna weigh
Alex,
in."
His promoter,
35 fight.
Alex, his promoter is a 6th division champion. If anybody knows about weight and like, but he was too focused on Canelo, like a jealous ex-girlfriend, bro. It's like that chick that he didn't even know her man's like depressed and shit because she's on like looking at her ex like on Facebook. Oh, that son of a bitch. Oh, well, why is he with her? She ain't as good as me. Well, the boyfriend's depressed over here, like 12 pounds overweight, obese and shit. Because on the 2nd day of weigh-in, my true love gave to me 2 chimichangas, 1 burrito. Like, I'm just saying, bro. The 12 days of weigh-in. Well, what do you get on the 3rd day? Crab legs? What about the 4th day? Quesadillas? 3 crab legs, 2 chimichangas, 1 burrito. Like, bro, this is crazy, bro. I'm sorry. It's crazy. 12 pounds.
It's not even trying is what it is. And
but you see his apology? He said he tried. What's worse? Lying to it and thinking we're stupid? Saying, oh, guys, I tried my best, but I just couldn't do it this time. But I'm going to make sure I fix it. Like, or like, not doing it. Like, I think lying to us is worse, bro. It's worse. Oh, I didn't mean to. He's like that Shaggy song. Wasn't me. I saw you eat 2 burritos. Wasn't me.
You can't fight at light heavyweight ever again after this. You can't. Like
you weren't even trying at the scale.
I'm just moving the cruiser. I'm moving up the cruiser. It is what it is. I'm moving up.
He's a cry for help.
I tried. He said I tried. And I'll do better next time. I hope you do better next time.
Hey, all he's got to do is 11 pounds and he already do better. You know what I mean? I try. If that's you, imagine if he didn't try. Bro,
this is crazy, bro. I'll do better next time.
And then we have Mexican dudes out here, right? That go out and, oh, Canelo, he's a disgrace to Mexican boxing. But they're fans of Benavidez, Zurdo, and Benavidez, right? And Andy Ruiz, okay? All the dudes, like, they're embarrassing at the weigh-ins, bro. Embarrassing. Like, this is how stereotypes are made, okay? Like, why are Mexicans so fat? Well, you know, we got Mexican world champions, okay, that are showing up overweight and shit at scales, and everybody makes jokes about them eating tacos. How am I supposed to fight that stereotype? Oh, no, he wasn't eating tacos. He was eating salads. What am I supposed to say? Make weight. And in Andy's case, doesn't need to make weight, but come in shape. Is that too much to ask? Come in shape.
This is probably the most unprofessional thing I've seen in quite a while. And we joke about it, but the sad thing about this is Gabe's sitting there. Gabe does everything he's supposed to do as a fighter. He shows up professionally, makes weight. He was a pound and a half under. Shouldn't have been at that weight to begin with fighting in this fight, but he was there. He did what he did. And he's not going to get paid after that training camp, right?
This dude's a walking.
Part about it.
Like, I'm telling you right now, bro, like, this dude was walking around moping, looking depressed and shit, looking like a homeless dude. He's at a, like, media scrum, didn't even bother doing his hair. Look at this. He doesn't even bother having a haircut. You know what I mean? Like he's got like a 5 o'clock shadow going. Like he's just, like, depressed as fuck. He's got the depressed jacket on. That's the type of jacket people like homeless dudes put on, bro. And
They
the
said
dude's
he looks
walking
like
around.
a homeless poodle.
Yeah, he's like, me no, not happy. And then like B-Hop, Oscar, somebody, nobody noticed, bro. Nobody noticed. These are dudes that did it for a living. B-Hop in 2 divisions, Deloya in 6, and they couldn't tell. There was no red flags. Because if you lost 5 pounds in 2 hours, and they would have noticed 2 weeks ago, yo, bro, start losing some weight. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you would have missed it by 3 pounds, which is still a lot, by the way, I think Rosado would have still fought him.
Yeah, probably so.
But it was so ridiculous that like no one was going to allow the fight. Like 12 pounds, bro.
Imagine.
I was upset when I thought it was 1.2 pounds.
Imagine their shock. They're like, what? What am I supposed to even do with this? What am I supposed to do? I can't pay step aside money per pound because it's 12.
You're a dad, right? You got kids. So you ever look at your kids and you're like, why did you do that? Like,
yes, all the time.
That's how that's how I felt about Zurdo, bro. Why'd you do that? Like, what the fuck? He's a cry for help, bro. Like, I'm just telling you right now, he's a cry for help.
7.
On the 5th day away, against my true love gave to me.
You can't miss
5 slices of pizza.
Over a pound is a big miss.
4 chimichangas.
Over a pound's a big miss. You missed it by 7.
Oh,
you missed it by 7.6, dude. Good.
Hey, tell me, like Hard Times Boxing said, tell me fuck it. Well, tell me fuck it.
Yeah.
I mean, like, tell me you don't give a fuck. Because, people walk around now, like, this is like a popular thing people do now. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about nothing. Like, Zurdo don't even got to say it. Like, we know you don't give a fuck. He don't give a shit about nothing, bro. Right? Mm-hmm. Which brings me to this. It's my opinion. Fighters should be required to put in a deposit before every fight. And if they don't make weight, that deposit goes to their opponent. That's just my opinion. Oh, no, you can't. Okay, don't agree to fights and make your fucking weight. Be a professional. That's your job. You got one job, bro.
And he just made that weight. He just made that weight easy. And he can't.
On the 6th day of weigh-ins, my true love gave to me.
Look,
speaking
of not giving an F, though, real quick, is Ramirez versus Comey. We talked about our level of excitement for Plant Benavidez about 5, 6 on a scale of 10. This one right here is probably a 1 for me. You got any kind of excitement for this fight?
And by the way, really quick, Duval grind, not even Chavez Jr. ever missed it by 12, bro. Mm-hmm. See, at least Chavez, even when Chavez would change the weight, it was by like 3 pounds. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, we're gonna fight at 163 now. Like, you know what I mean? But he never changed it by 12 pounds. That's crazy. But I don't give a fuck about this. I hope somebody misses weight so they don't got to do the fight. Mm-hmm. I hope Comey comes in 12 pounds over and we don't have to see it.
And the sad part about that is we like Jose. We like him as a fighter.
No way, Jose, not anymore.
We love that division. It's just, man, oh man.
All I gotta say is no way, Jose. All right, because let me tell you something. This is the big draw, the big attraction that Ramirez fans were talking about. Oh, Progress wants that bag. That's the only reason he wants to fight Ramirez. Like, bro, like, ain't nobody give a fuck about this fight. Mm-mm. You know, it's like everyone's talking about Plant Benavidez. Ain't nobody talking about this fight. I forgot it was this weekend. So Calix mentioned it before the show. Like, well, shit, it is this weekend. What? Like it's just I'm not gonna watch. I'm gonna be watching the PBC card. Let's be honest. I'll watch Denise Estrada, but who is she fighting? Yeah, like what? I just Bob Arum don't give a fuck. Like blah humbug. Put the fight on. Like, you don't give a fuck, bro.
Yep.
He's like, I got a date to fulfill, so fuck it. Ramirez versus Comey. What's Comey now, though? Is he like the Brooklyn Brawler of Top Rank now or something?
Yeah. They're just rolling him out there to get some L's at this point in his career. That's what that is. He's the Washington General.
I think he's from Brooklyn, too, by the way. The Brooklyn Brawler, Comey.
On that note, man, it's been a great show. Appreciate you swinging through the channel, HCPX. Every Monday, HCPX, and possibly multiple HCPXs this week. So it's a big week. I feel like we still have just scratched the surface with playing Benavidez. I feel like there's going to be some more stuff to talk about later in the week. So we'll be back with that.
Where's the the face off with the slap? Like, you know what I mean? Like something. Like give me some. Give me some, whatever it is. Like you break it up or whatever. Do some. Like, okay. Like, don't tell me this is gangland, throwing gang signs. Oh, it's personal. Like, and all this other shit. But then, like, you guys, like, come on. Like, you're not really about that life like that. You know what I mean? I'm just saying.
It's going to happen later in the week. I feel it.
And just to make a quick announcement. So on Thursday, and be on the lookout. We'll probably do other shows as the week progresses. But on Thursday, Roundtable, my channel, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 Central, 5 Mountain, 4 Pacific. Look, Hot Minute will be on. I believe Lady Chan might be on, but she hasn't confirmed yet, even though she agreed to it 2 weeks ago. But most importantly, I'll be on. But in all seriousness, Ernesto Amador from No Puedes Jugar Boxeo, the biggest Spanish YouTube channel and one of the biggest, period, with over 250,000 subscribers, well known, has interviewed every name from Canelo, you name it. Okay. Will be on the roundtable. So I don't know if he's ever done an English show, but it's going to be very interesting. So make sure you guys tune in. Because you don't play boxing.
On that note, we out. Peace. God bless everybody. Happy Monday.